Three, two, one, let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode on the George Habib podcast. First of all, I wanted to thank a whole lot of you for the response I've received after resuming the channel. We've received at least 15 subscribers ever since we got back online. We've had over 100 views on some of the new videos. We've also had a ton of likes. And honestly, I did not expect the response to be this good this early out after resuming the whole thing. And for that, I want to thank all of you guys out there for the support. It's really keeping me motivated to keep this going. But I also wanted to talk about some of the other responses or comments I've got both online and in person about the episodes. Some of them have been completely amazing feedback. So thank you for that. Some of this stuff has been more of let's call it of the constructive category. And what I got a lot was, hey, George, I've noticed that when you're talking in these videos, all you basically do is just complain, complain, complain. You're nagging about the problems of today's world. You're just complaining about stuff like economics, money, health, and all that stuff, and you're not offering any solutions to these problems you're talking about. Like, why don't you do more of that? Why don't you become provide more useful advice to your audience out there? And the thing I want to get into is, it basically comes down to this: who am I to give advice to my viewers out there? I'm going to give you some context. I'm 29, and frankly, I don't even feel like I'm a successful person in any way. If I had this useful advice and solutions I've been told I should give, one would think I would apply it to my own life and the results would show, but no, that's not the case. I'm currently single. The It seems to be like the forever alone kind of single. Nowhere near starting a family, finding the right woman, finding the right partner, and building a life with that person. I'm nowhere near being able to afford buying my own house and having my own piece of property to call my own and become a homeowner, where others have achieved that at this age. My job's, it's okay, it's stable, it pays decent, but I can't say I'm in the place where it's setting up my whole life for settling down and building future and career and family. And to be frank, I don't think I'm special in any meaningful way. I don't think I'm smart. Smart person who've had their shit figured out by now. I don't think I'm particularly in the attractive category. Still got a lot of working to do on my body. And I don't think I have any particular talents. I hope that this channel will be my success story. I hope this will be the thing I can be proud of. But there's still a lot of time between now and then to show the proof of that. So again, if I'm not a successful person, who am I to give advice to people out there that wouldn't just be basically my own glorified opinion? And for the people my age, for the millennials, for the Gen Z, maybe those slightly older, I feel like we all need some actual worthwhile advice and solutions to the problems we deal with today. I feel like we have too many people out there faking fame, faking success, faking achievement, and giving advice that's basically just a copy paste of what they heard on another similar channel. And I also feel like, even though I give a great amount of respect to the previous generations for their hardship, I feel like the words of wisdom or encouragement or the solutions we get from them are kind of outdated for the problems we deal with today. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that Gen Z, what is it called? I believe that the Boomer generation and Gen Y, the ones that came after them, have had way harder lives that we have right now. You know, but I feel like what we're getting out of them is words for a different time that frankly no longer exists. As a millennial, I feel like I know I live in this world where there's a ton of inflation, there's huge competition in the job market. We now think of like starting a family and buying a house as like a very ambitious thing, whereas before it was the norm. You know, we live in a culture where no one wants to settle down. People want to like carry up their careers over starting a family. Pretty sure I don't think I mentioned like we're taxed like crazy with nothing to show for it. Like the roads aren't getting better, the hospital is crap, and education still isn't free. We're saddled with a ton of student debt. And the previous tools of success, which I did discuss in a video with the financial constructor, check it out. The tool of success of the days before don't apply today. You know, college doesn't matter as much as it used to. Saving your money is kind of pointless with the massive inflation. We can work as hard as we want, you know, like work harder and all that stuff, put in more hours. But again, like the purchasing power isn't what it used to be. So I feel like although we can get a lot of life wisdom from the previous generation, there's just not a lot of meaningful advice to be found there. So yeah, on the other hand, you got me and other people like me who frankly it's just glorified opinion. And then you got outdated advice from those older for us than us. Which brings me to the point of this channel. It's not that I just want to nag and that's it. It's I want to talk about today's problems and actually bring the worthy guests who can actually offer solutions to those problems. And we can clearly see, based on their own successes, that it worked out for them. Guests like George, not me, a different George, George, the financial constructor, who's a millennial like us, like some of us, and he owns a house. He started a family with like what I'm assuming is like a wonderful wife and amazing kids. And you know, he's doing great in the world of finance. And then on the other side, we've got Chris Schnabel, I guess I brought in, who lost 200 pounds through hard work, like hard exercise and diet. When me myself, I cannot imagine losing 10 pounds. You know, and I do plan to bring in more guests like these people who I feel are truly are success stories, who have something worthwhile to say that isn't outdated. You know, they face the problems the rest of the people their age, which is us, have faced today, and they've come out on top. So those are the stories I want to target. Those are the stories I want to bring forth that will give us like, you know, from people who can actually give us like proven advice and aren't just like talking out their asses. Sorry for my French. And part of that is, you know, the nagging and the complaining and the whining and the whinging and the I don't know what other words for the knitting. That's an Arabic word that I do. Where, yeah, I do want to point out the real problems we have in society in our society today. Things that cannot be just like dismissed as oh we're whiny, oh we're soft, oh we're weak, oh we just don't know how to deal with hardship. It's like no, these are genuine problems that affect us. And yeah, as the podcast goes on, I do want to bring in, you know, more and more guests who can bring us out of this darkness, make us feel more worthwhile, who can inspire us, and who can make us feel like we actually can do something about it. I don't want this challenge just to be like a on repeat thing where there's just nagging, no solution. I do want it to be something worthwhile where we hear you like, you know, motivating stories and some interesting stories. You know, there's more interesting stuff coming up that will be of benefit to all of us. And yeah, that's my spiel. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for the support. Stay tuned. We got more interesting stuff coming up, amazing guests coming up. And Yeah, take care of yourselves. Take care, guys.